In this video, we'll be learning how to complete the square and why it is important in algebra. So, when we complete the square, we are always dealing with a quadratic expression. A quadratic expression looks like this: ax squared plus bx plus c, and I'm trying to convert that into something that looks like this: ax minus h squared plus k. Completing the square means that I'm looking for a perfect square bracket like this. That is my aim. So if I'm trying to go from the standard form of a quadratic expression to a completed squared form, it would look something like this. This is useful in both quadratic functions, when I have something looking like that, or quadratic equations, which look something like this. So let's practice completing the square and see how I do it. For the first example, we're going to have x squared plus 6x plus 10. And when I complete the square, I'm focused on the first two terms in order to complete the square. So I'm going to take the last term and just move it over to the side, and I'm going to try and make a perfect square bracket. To make a perfect square bracket, I want to factor something that will have a number here that would make a perfect square. That is my aim. We have a formula for this. This formula is b divided by 2 squared. So I take the b value, in this case the b value is 6, and I divide it by 2 and I square it. This would make 9. So 9 is the special number that I will use in order to make a perfect square bracket. If I had to group this, I could factor it and it would make a perfect square bracket. But if I add 9 to an expression, I've suddenly changed the value of the expression. So what I need to do now is I also need to subtract 9. So now the value of my expression has not changed. Now what I'm going to do is factor the first three terms. By factoring the first three terms, I would get x plus 3, x plus 3. And if you're not sure how to factor, please watch my video in the link above. And then at the end, I would have minus 9 plus 10, which is plus 1. If I have two identical brackets multiplying each other, that would give me a perfect square bracket. X plus 3 squared, and then I have plus 1 on the end. I now have my perfect square bracket, therefore I've completed the square, and it is in the same format as what I have above, where the a value is 1 and the k value is also 1. Now let's try more difficult examples, especially examples where the a value is not 1. If you like this video so far, please don't forget to subscribe. The more you support the channel, the more videos I can make. So let's try an example where the a value is greater than 1. We'll make it 2. 2x squared, and I'll have minus 8x and plus 14. So what I'm going to do here again is I'm going to move the 14 away, because I know that it's the first two terms that are important when I'm completing the square. Now, I can never complete the square when there is a number in front of x, which is called the coefficient, if it is not 1. I will not be able to complete the square because the value b over 2 squared will not be valid. It's only valid if there is a 1 in front. So what we have to do here is take out a common factor of 2. By taking out a common factor of 2, I'd be left with x squared minus 4x. And what that's going to give me is the opportunity now to complete the square of what is inside. So in order to complete the square there, the b value now is negative 4. And I treat it as if I'm only focused on what is inside the blue bracket. So the b value is negative 4, so that'll be negative 4 over 2 squared. In this case, that'll give me 4. So now what am I going to do? I will add 4 But don't forget we need to subtract 4. The negative 4 needs to be inside the bracket so that it makes an equivalent addition of 0 to the bracket. If I had to add my bracket outside, what would happen is this 4 there is being multiplied by 2, but the negative 4 here is not being multiplied by 2. So the negative 4 has to be inside the bracket. What I need to do now is factor the first 3 terms inside the bracket in order to get a perfect square bracket. So I will have 2 with the blue bracket here, and the red bracket will become x minus 2 squared. If I factor it, it'll be x minus 2 times x minus 2, and I have a negative 4 on the end. Outside the bracket, I still have plus 14. What I need to do now is bring in the 2 here and multiply it to every term in the bracket. So this would become 2 x minus 2 to the power 2. This will now become negative 8 plus 14. So my final answer will be 2 bracket x minus 2 squared, and that will be plus 6. I now have a perfect square bracket in the same format as what I have here, where a is 2, h is 2, and k is 6. In the next video, we will be discussing how to solve using completing the square. Please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what video you would like me to do next.